Hey guys, we're behind the scenes of our new swarm, where we'll be riding. Hey guys, welcome behind the scenes of our next swarm, which we're calling Hollywood North. We're going to be riding to some of BC's most famous movie locations and possibly injecting a little movie magic of our own. For now, let's get started. So where are we? Well, today we're starting in Vancouver, and this building behind me is one of the city's most famous filming locations, the Marine Building. It's one of Vancouver's most iconic buildings, and it's filled with fascinating Art Deco details. You've definitely seen this building before in a few very popular movies and TV shows, one of which we left a pretty big clue to in our intro. The main hallway is modeled after a marine theme, with large brass doors with ocean life-themed art and symbols everywhere you look. Back in its heyday, they even hired models to run the elevators wearing sailor suits. Now, for those of you that don't know, since about 1970, Vancouver's been nicknamed Hollywood North, and that's because it's a major production center followed closely by cities like Los Angeles and New York. And for this tour, we thought what better bike than the action-packed CBR 1000RR. This trip takes us through Vancouver, up north into Lillooet, and then back down to Abbotsford. It's an extremely scenic trip that runs approximately 598 kilometers and would take 6 hours to ride non-stop. There are many popular motorcycle routes in BC, but this particular route is known amongst riders as the Fraser Canyon Tour. First, on our way out of the city, we thought we'd take a quick ride through Mount Pleasant. We've pulled over in Mount Pleasant, which is one of the oldest areas in the city, with some of the houses dating back as far as the 1880s. Now, because of the street's historical significance, it's a popular spot for film and television production. This house is of particular interest on our tour because it was recently featured in a huge film franchise. Can you guess the movie? Here's a hint. The main character, named Caesar, grew up here. Our second detour takes us approximately 149 kilometers north, outside of the city to Hope, BC, which some consider to be the birthplace of Hollywood North thanks to a movie that was filmed here in 1982. Do you know the movie? It starts with a veteran wandering into town and being harassed by its local sheriff. That's right. Every year, hundreds of fans of the iconic Sylvester Stallone film make the pilgrimage to Hope, British Columbia to visit some of the movie's most iconic filming locations. As we understand, every once in a while, the town still throws screening parties on the anniversary. The next part of our trip will take us approximately 175 kilometers north up to Lillooet, BC. This route from Hope to Lillooet winds along the Fraser Valley River and will take you through some exciting scenery and twisties. The one north looks like it was designed specifically for riders. It's smooth and snaky, and on a clear day, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better ride than this. The highway moves in all directions, up, down, left, and right. And around every clearing is another unforgettable view. Everyone knows about the Sea to Sky Highway on the west side of Vancouver, but the Fraser Canyon Tour is equally as moving, and not nearly as busy. It feels like a well-kept secret by local riders. During the Fraser Canyon tour, it's easy to see why BC has attracted so much of the film industry. It's capable of providing an infinite number of exciting backdrops for every type of movie. And when we arrived in Lillooet, we stumbled across something truly jaw-dropping.
Hi, my name's Adrian, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the effect that you just saw and how it was created. Stuff that I've worked on in the past have been projects such as, in fact, the most recent Independence Day, Power Rangers, Black Panther. For a shot like the one you just saw, it employs a pretty wide variety of different disciplines. A 3D modeler who would build the dinosaur. Rigging would create a skeleton that allows it to be animated. We would have texture artists that work to give the textural aspects. A lighting artist will set up digital lights that will generate a 3D render and match photorealistically to the photography.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that. Thanks to Adrian for giving us a little peek behind the scenes. And hey, what would a trip through Hollywood North be without a little movie magic thrown into the mix? And speaking of magic, aren't you
a witch? You could say that.
Action! Oh, it's like it was made for me.
I was aware of the original show, Sabrina, of course. It was kind of like around when I was a little younger. But it was for a completely different audience back then. This is a reimagining of the original Sabrina. A typical day on set is me arriving looking like hell, and then this incredible woman who's behind you does this and makes me look a little bit ugly mug coming in. And then I eat a big breakfast. I like to eat lots of sausages and maybe some eggs. But we're pretty much busting out 16-hour days is a kind of norm. And maybe a wee smoothie, cup of coffee. And we're on set immediately, rehearsing and working out what the shots will be. And then I just act my wee socks off. I'll have some pie later. And yeah, so it's basically just a day of me eating. There's riding history in my family for sure. My brothers, Kenneth Gomez and Derek Gomez, big riders, big bikers. I had a little moped that I would ride everywhere on, and I'd come off that a lot. I get pulled over a lot as well by the Scottish cops, by the police, because they didn't think what I was wearing was appropriate for riding. But this would do me. You can use some of it. I know it's just.
well, Michelle, thanks so much for taking the time for us today.
Yeah, whatever. So I have been thinking that you have the makings of a warlock, but you could use a little work, so.
Okay, well, it seems Michelle has sent us to school because I'm standing outside another BC filming location. This building is the exterior for Sabrina's Academy of Unseen Arts. Also known as Coughlin Substation, it's located between Abbotsford and Langley and was originally built in 1910. It was one of 5 similar power stations built by BC Electric, all along a railway route, and it was used not only to power passing trains, but also to house tram workers and their families. So today, while this building serves as a set on the outside, the inside is actually a private residence and art gallery showcasing local native Canadian art. Now, none of these substations are in service anymore, but many of them have been renovated in creative ways, which reminds me there's one more place to go on this trip. But first, where's my bike? So here we are in Abbotsford, the end of our ride. And I'm standing in front of a building that probably looks familiar to you at this point. It's yet another one of those power substations. Only this one has been completely renovated on the inside, and at the time of filming was available for rent on HomeAway. So if you're in the Vancouver area and you want to say you spent a night at the Academy of Unseen Arts, you pretty much can, since basically they're identical on the outside. On the inside, however, they're a little different. Let's check it out. This rental is perfect for groups traveling through the area looking for somewhere a little out of the ordinary to spend a night. It has 2 entertainment spaces, 2 kitchens, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. It's huge. Staying here will make you feel like a Hollywood star. And not only that, it's a piece of BC's history. And, appropriately, it's got a really comfortable home theater, which is actually kind of the perfect place to end off our Hollywood North tour. See you on the next ride.